Hello everyone. Um, my name is Rahul, and I'm just like one of you. So before I start, I want to know some of you from some of you that how many of you are actually starting something or have a small venture or a business of your own. So anyone who is into business right now or want to start your own business. You can unmute yourself and talk, no problem on that. But what I was planning this to be a very interactive session, so I will be asking you people questions and you can answer, and it will be mainly a very interactive session. That's what I'm looking for. So you can unmute yourself and shoot me like if you have any question. And in the meantime, maybe by 2:10 I would start talking a bit about myself. Then we can straight away go into the Q&A sessions.
So, pardon, sir, sorry to disturb you. Actually, some of the guys are messaging me, so it would be great if you publicly message in the group because I think it is the people discussion. So, I think if you want, you can privately message to the mentor because again, if you'll message to the host, it will be of no use. So, yeah, thank you. So, you can go on. You can carry on.
Feel free to ask
Thank you.
any question, no worries, don't worry like whether the question is good, relevant or not. The main idea of having a session like this is to help each other, to be very honest. Franchise, what about franchise? Where what do you mean by franchise, franchise business and all? Okay, so see, in most cases, what happen, like if you want to start a franchisee or something, there are certain risk involved in it, and there are certain monetary factor involved in it. Let's assume that you want to start a franchise of McDonald's. So in that case, you have to take a rights from them. You have to have a location. You have to have the setups and everything. So that's a risk factor, because the more you invest is greater the risk factor. So my suggestion would always be start something small with minimum amount of money and then go for a break even. Once you see, all right, whatever I invested, it came back to me, then reinvest and slowly proceed. Don't go for a hefty investment and then create a huge pressure for yourself. You're welcome. Okay. uh, I think people are joining, so let's wait for a couple of minutes, and after that maybe you can close the joining thing or something.
Meanwhile, if you guys have any question regarding anything, like you can hit the chat box and as we'll start the session, Meta will start answering the same. So yeah, if you want, you can keep hitting the chat box.
Okay, how many of you are student actually? Business versus see, none of them are like the question is hotel business versus construction business. Which one is more profitable according to you? To be very honest, I personally have not done any of the business, but I have my friends who are into hotel and also in construction, mainly into construction. So again, both have their pros and cons. But what I would say, if 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 you have someone who can mentor you, someone who can guide you, in that case you can proceed. But if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a support, who can teach you, then it's better that you work in that field, understand how the business works, then you start a business of that similar niche. uh, I think restaurant could be a better and safe option, but again, it needs to have a proper marketing and proper market research done, like what kind of food to offer and all those things, because without a proper research, if you start, then chance of getting fail in the business is very high. Okay, so we have a lot of students. Okay, good. So how many of you are actually running a business right now, or want to start a business right now, like you want to be an entrepreneur? Okay, we got one, two. All right. So there are a couple of people. That's good. Okay, so let me start. About myself, like how I got actually started. So, okay, owning a jewelry, owning a family business, want to start. Oh, wow, that's a good thing actually. Yes, I would talk about passive income as well. In later part of the day, I would talk about that. So let me just make a note of it. Okay, I would talk about passive income as well as recurring income. So both are like very good business model, and it's very easy to have a successful business into both of the models. But you need to choose something which that you're good at, and you have the capacity to provide a good service or a support. So okay, so how I got started actually. I had an incident like in class 12. I actually failed in maths. So what happened due to that, I got really very demotivated, and I thought like the world is going to end. Despite of having a very good AIEEE ranking, it was around 1400 or something. I did not appear for counseling or anything because I was sure that who is gonna accept a person who failed in maths into engineering. So I thought like the career is doomed, and let's not think about education and all. Let me start something. So I started working for a call center. So that's how I got started. So I learned the tricks, I learned how to talk, I learned the communication skill from them. And frankly speaking, it was a blessing in disguise. If I had not failed in maths, I would have been studying into some engineering college and doing the same thing, like going, running for a job interview, and maybe got a 15-20,000 jobs or something of that sort. But it did not work out that way. So I went and joined a call center, worked there for a couple of months. Then I shifted to another one, and eventually, I got a very good, call center where I was into uh, uh, like customer service, sales, and it was mostly dealing about live escalation. So live escalation means like when there is a super angry customer who want a refund. So your job is to convince the customer and make sure the customer don't ask for a refund. So that was my last call center job role. So there I had a mentor who actually was my senior as well. So he taught me how to make sales, how to understand people's psychology. So he actually taught me a lot. And after a couple of months, he was the one person who actually forced me, or rather I would say motivated and forced me that Rahul, you are very young. So that time I was 19. So end the job, don't you don't need to work, get yourself a degree, and you have a much better opportunity, you will get a much better opportunity where you might be working for an IT company. Because you always wanted to be an engineer, because I was very close to him. So I said that I always wanted to be an engineer, but I turned out to be a call center agent. So he knew that what I want and how I want to proceed. So he, like after a year or so, he kept on motivating me, and finally I took the call that okay. And by that time I also saved a couple a couple of lakhs in my account, so I had a savings. So I dropped, I exit from my job, and started, doing my bachelor's degree. So what happened is, like, once you start making money, once you get that enjoyment of earning money, that time you cannot stay away from it. Like, if you don't earn money, you will feel bad, like, you will feel restless. So in some case, like, I was having the same anxiety. I was also, like, always thinking about, earlier I used to earn 30,000, 38,000. Now I have nothing in my hand. So it was like, very bad and very, like, restless thing for me. So I thought, like, let me do something. But I have the, the call center experience, nothing like, web development or anything, just a basic, communication skill. So one of my neighbor elder brother, he told me that, Rahul, you are good at sales, so why don't you do one thing? You
Digital
take care of,
marketing.
yeah, you take care of the sales part, and we will go ahead and deliver the project. I said, wow, that sounds good. So let's do that. And I will also be, getting some sort of pocket money out of it. So I started, taking care of the sales part, communication and marketing part, and they started delivering it. So as the time proceed, what happened was, like, I was accumulating a lot of sales, but they were not delivering. And I was very good, in touch with the clients. So as a result, they keep on asking me that, Rahul, I trusted you and you told me that these are the offerings, and it never happened. So I was, started feeling guilty that, I promised the customers that I will do this, I will do that, and at the end it did not happen. So it's like a cheating thing that is going on. So I spoke with those, elder brothers, and told them that this cannot be, in proceed. I cannot proceed in this way. So they actually insulted me. They said, like, you're not an engineer, and you will not understand the complexity of developing website, this, that, and a lot of other things. So I took that, very seriously. I said, okay, fine, I don't need to do. So that day onward, I actually came back home and by myself, and hosting in a domain, and started experimenting with that, started learning. So back in that time, the data cost was very high. It was not so cheap, like, you pay like 399 a month in Geo, and you get almost 2 GB data a day or something like that. So back in that time, like, we used to pay, like, maybe 200 for 1 GB data or something like that. So I started, doing my research. I started studying from YouTube. I started, an online course called platform from a platform called Lynda.com. So I started, polishing myself. And after that, I started, communicating back with those clients, and started working on small projects. And eventually, by that time, I became a website developer. So again, like that, it went on. I recruited some of the, my batchmates from college, and together, like, we had a very good team of developers, then designers, content writers, and that's the way, like, we actually got started. It went on, and 2014 actually, um, uh, we had a loss. Like, we were relying on a freelancing platform, and we had a loss where around 16 lakhs or so, amount of money got, stuck. And despite of all the appeals and all the requests that was met by myself as well as from the client end, that platform did not release the money. Neither the client got a refund. So uh, I think, yeah. Okay. So what happened was, like, we lost a lot of money, and as a result, not money but also hope. So we were planning, like, we will start a company or something like that, but that thing actually just broke our spine. So we all of us was completely shattered, and since the company did not provided the customer refund, we had to work for them free of cost, and that went for like 3-4 months. And after that, we somehow managed, and we went back and we started again. And next time we failed again, like, we got hit by another freelancing platform. So by that time, like, it was like unbearable. That time also, like, I made a loss of around 4 or 5 lakhs. So if you take the total addition, it's like 20 lakhs. And by that time I was like, having an age of 20 years, 20 or 20 and a half or something of that sort. So, and at the age of 20 years, you have a like 20-21 lakhs of loss. Now now that is shattering. Like, you cannot actually proceed. Like, you have people to pay, you have people who works for you, you have certain responsibilities, and also by that time your lifestyle also changed. Like, I had a, like, much better lifestyle back then. Like, maybe started traveling in cars, and started going to good restaurants and all those things. So my lifestyle also got changed. So now I, like, there was a huge pressure on me, like, how should I proceed? Like, I failed, and till then, like, everything was all about failure. Like, I failed in education. Again, when I was in doing my graduation, like, the the marks, like first semester marks was like 7 point or something like that. So I was not happy with that marks as well, because my dad is a very good he was very good in education. My mom is a brilliant in she was brilliant in educations. My sister is a brilliant student, and I was just an odd one out, like, who failed. Then his marks is like average, and I was like clueless. I was thinking that, okay, like, I was probably that odd one out, and I don't know how to proceed. So then again, one fine day, like, as happens, like, you have bunch of friends who hang out, who does party, and a lot of things happen. And that night I somehow, like, honestly speaking, I was not in a state of normalcy. I was completely drunk, and I thought, like, what will happen at next? So at, I removed that person. Okay. So that day, like, I was thinking, like, what max will happen? Like, I will fail again. That's it. So next day, I made up a mind that I would incorporate a company, and I will proceed fresh start, no freelancing side, nothing. We will purely focus on the local client, and get things forwarded. So again, I incorporated a company, and that was like, the birth, like, that was how I started my first company. And again, like, for first year, it was like, I was making money that was only good enough for me to survive, frankly speaking. Like, after paying all the operation costs, that was good enough for me to just survive. Like, I was not even making, like, 10,000 rupees a month. So that less amount of money I was making after running a company. So that went on for a couple of years, and right now, like, currently I own three companies, and I'm also an angel investor. So I invested in two other companies. So, like, that's how everything got started. So even if you fail, like, you don't need to worry that the world is end. You can always start, and you know uh, have a new beginning. And just need to make sure that whatever was the reason of your failure, you don't forget that. You learn from that, and you start again. And somewhere or the others, like, you will succeed, because someone have already written down everything. Like, I believe that, at least, that God have already written everything. Now what I need to do is just work harder, and things will automatically happen. Like, I don't worry like what's gonna happen, like, after 3 years, or after 2 years, or even like after 6 months. I'm just focused about right now. And I know one thing: if I work hard, I will definitely be able to bounce back no matter what happens. So that's a short about my journey, like how I got started. So, like, if you have any question, then do let me know. I see we have one question that I actually missed. That was, sir, my question is now, is how to start an entrepreneurship, and what are the initial and following steps that we need to make. If we have an idea, then how to implement it and make it successful. First and foremost, again, I would say, like, whatever idea you have, go through a validation process. First, do a market research and see what are the requirements for the particular solution that you're providing. It should always be a solution of a problem. Like, it should not be something like, okay, I feel like that this particular thing will work, So let me put it, in the market. It doesn't work that way. You need to first understand like what is the requirement of the market, and what is the problem that you are solving. If there is a problem that you're solving, then definitely people will buy from it. So my suggestion would be, before you proceed, have a proper market research done, understand the requirements and your offering both needs to be inclined. Then the next step is get it validated by someone. Like it can, like, it must not be a, like, top commander or someone. You can get the validation like from the users itself. Like, for example, like the ideal customer performer or a customer situation. For example, if the customer type is like say for example 5 to 10 15 to 20 years age bracket, then you can just speak with them and say that, okay, like, this is what a problem that is you people might be having, and I was thinking about coming up something like this which would be able to solve your problem. So what do you think? Will that be a good idea? Just have a simple question to them, and they would be happy to give you an answer. Now maybe a couple of them will reject you, but at the end, like, it will always be very helpful, and it will be a good thing that you ask your user what to do, what not to do, because at the end of the day they will be the people who will be paying you, or who will be buying your services. So point one, do a good market research. Point two, validate your idea. And third thing I would say, like, invest small, and then proceed slowly. Don't think that today itself I will launch a business and tomorrow I will be a lakpati or something like that. It doesn't work that way. So start small and slowly,
Hello.
gradually you proceed.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, having a competition is always good. So here I have a question, like, being competition of a service is good, right? Example, Jio is a competitor of Airtel. According to me, competition is always good. It helps both the companies to have a better product in the market, and also the consumer will be benefited at the end. But there are some personal opinion that I have regarding Geo. That is, at the end of the day, what Geo did was, like, they completely like destroyed the pricing game altogether. Like, probably it is better for the consumer, but if you go and do a business analysis, what they have done, they simply killed the competition. So that should not be a good solution, good or sustainable solution, because Geo started with a lot of things free. Now they started charging you. Like, I remember I have two Geo fiber connection in my house. So one, when they started, they added those lot of features like OTT features and everything inside the package. Now recently what they have done is they remove the OTT thing and put it in the higher package. So technically, like, when they started with something. Now they are doing something else, like they changing the package and increasing the pricing and all those things. So the idea is, even if you, like, offer a lot of free stuff, a lot of cheap stuff, and get people hooked to it, but at the end of the day, if you want to be in the market and if you want to hold that customer base, then you have to be consistent. Obviously, like, they are consistent in the market because what value, what service they are providing right now is something that other competitor cannot simply beat. Like, I am also a big user of Airtel service, but I, like, what I have seen, like, Geo service is much better compared to Airtel services. So definitely, like, it's not always about the money, but it also about the customer experience. So I think Geo is on the right track, but again, the kind of competitive pricing, the kind of marketing that they did, which I think to some extent is unethical, but it's not illegal, it's something unethical. So that's again my personal opinion. But competition is always good. Currently, I'm doing a job that I hate and want to do a business, but I know nothing about it. I have some capital, but I don't know. Should I leave the job in the situation and wait for 3 4 months? Okay, Jeet. The thing is, my personal suggestion would be, uh, try to get a better job where you would learn something and where you will enjoy working. Now, The thing is, since you want to start a business, you what you can do is the line, for example, if you want to start a business of website development, work for a website development company and understand how they are working, and do a job there, then you start a business. So if you want to leave your job which you simply hate, leave the job and get a job that you love, and it should be as per the solution or as per the business that you want to start. So if you want to start a digital marketing business, go and work for a digital marketing company, because probably, if you want to start a business on a particular niche, that means you love that particular niche. So if you work on a job into that particular niche, then that would be something that you would love to work on, and also you will get the basic experience of uh, how how thing works. So that is that experience is very very important. So yes, my suggestion would be immediately if possible, switch a job to the niche or the line of business that you want to start. You work there for a couple of months, at least 6 months, and get the experience, have the understanding how that particular business work. Then you can put down your paper and take a business risk, or take a start your own business venture. Uh, i i i would recommend, don't straight away leave your job and start something. Start with a side hustle, and then proceed with a full time, full time, dedicating full time into the job. How to create a team to work on your idea, because everyone has their own idea. Okay, so the thing is, for any business, having a team is very important. And here team means, I'm not talking about the partners, because choosing partner again is a different thing. But when it's about building a team, the first thing that needs to be, the first criteria is, what is their mindset? Like, are they having the same vision or not? Like, I always put one thing in front, that since I came from a customer service background, that no matter what, even if the developer, the support guy, or maybe the sales guy, everyone should be very much customer friendly. So that is something I always check, like whether my people are customer centric or not. So building a team is always about having the same vision. So if your team members are having same vision, they would be the right person to have you on board. If they have a different vision, it's better to skip them, because they would create a conflict in later part. And never be shy away of hiring people who are much better than you, because that will actually help you to proceed in a better way. Like, I have some people in my team who are much senior than me and much more experienced, and they are a better developer or a better marketer than me. I learn a lot from them, and sometimes they also challenge my idea. So that becomes like a good healthy discussion. So if you want to have a good team, the first and only requirement is, the person needs to have a similar vision, same to you. Like, if you have vision A, the person needs to have vision A. They should have the same dream of yours, and they should be like agreed upon on investing the effort and the time that needs to that is required to implement that dream. Feedback, right? Veer, I did not got your answer question correctly. Feedback, right? That thing. How to excel in digital marketing. Okay, so that's digital marketing is my niche. So in order to excel in digital marketing, the first and foremost thing is to understand your customer. Like, never think as a digital marketer, think as the end customer. Because, for example, you will let me give you an example. Recently, there was a customer for who were into luxury, car car company. They are a luxury car company. So they were doing this marketing stuff and everything, but they are not getting that right amount of leads that they need for the test drive. So we started doing a lot of research work. We were checking here and there and understanding what happened. So what we found out is that previously the agency with whom they were working, they did not did the customer that research work properly. They did not have a clear idea about the buyer's persona, like what who will be the end customer. So what we have done is simply, targeted people on LinkedIn and run an ad campaign, and we got much better result to that. It's all about like understanding your customer, and the people psychology is important. So digital marketing is not always about doing SEO, social media, and all those things. It's much more than that. It's about, connecting with the people. So you need to be very much people centric, and you need to have a clear idea about your buyers persona. You need to be very clear about what is the requirement of the customer. It should not be that, I feel like, running a ad campaign would be relevant. It should be something like, what are the things I need to do so that the end customer gets some benefit out of it, so that they get hooked, or they see the difference, or they see the benefit in that. So the way we, for example, if I need to, approach a website development customer, I would always say like, so what are the things you want to achieve down the line, in 6 months, with the help of digital marketing or with the help of this website. So what I'm talking about is their goal. And once I hear about it, I started talking about, all right, so if you do this, then this would be the outcome. If you do this, then this would be the outcome. We never talk all those technical jargons and all those things. We talk about the results, we talk about the implementation. And probably, that is something, you should also do it with your client. And that is the only way, like, you can actually excel in service business. Understand your client and understand their pain points, and offer the services according to that. So it's most of scams. Okay, where which scam you're talking about? Uh, okay, that was strategy, monopoly. Okay, I got. Knows the game. What is the process of converting idea into business startup? It's don't think so much. Idea, like what will be the process, this that. I think it's 001A Priyanka. Okay, so what is the process of converting an idea into business slash startup? So the idea is get started. Don't worry, like, how people will take it, how like you will be able to manage it or not, this that. Don't worry so much. Do a market research. If you see that, the product is a good fit, and if you see that there is a requirement, start working on it. There will be a lot of people who would say like, Priyanka, don't do it, you will fail, you will not be able to, do this, you are thinking so much. Don't listen to them, just get started. And once you get started, things will automatically happen. Just make sure that, you know exactly what you are, doing. You're passionate about it, and you know that there is a market requirement for that. What are your opinion on self-improvement niche, and which influencer do you follow in that niche? Okay, so I I will not be able to give you a proper definition of self improvement, but for me, it's having well, healthy, balanced lifestyle. It's about maintaining time. It's about being punctual, and it's about having good habits. So this is what I would like to define. And which influencer do you follow in that niche? Actually, a lot of the influencer, like YouTube influencers, they are like good friend or client of mine. I would personally, take name of uh, Beer Biceps. They are a good. He's a good guy. So like he's a good person to watch, and especially his podcast, which talks about a lot of things, and it is much better compared to all the podcasts that we have right now. It is by far one of the most intellectually advanced podcasts. So you can always listen to that. Okay, yes, they are trying to be a monopoly, which is again a very bad thing, because once they become a monopoly, then technically they will have no competition, and they can go away with anything. So tomorrow, if they say like, it's 150 rupees a GB, you will have to take it because there is no other company who can provide the service. So yes, it is a very risky endeavor. Like if someone becomes a monopoly. I agree with your point. Okay, no one can compete with them now. So many of them are okay, that's how. To further your interest in fine. It's fine. Okay, so and one question, like one person, he's like 20 years old and interested to start a business and entrepreneurship journey. So he's currently a student. So like when you're in college, that is probably the best time to start a business, because most of you are doing at least 3 years course or 4 year course. So what happened is, like, if you start your business the first year, you have 2 years at least or 3 years at least in your hand where you can work on the business. Because college education, what I have felt is that if you invest, like, just couple of hours per week, that is good enough for you to get 7.5 or maybe 8 if you are a better student. But uh, but not more than that. Because I personally have seen, like, after, like, working in like so many hours, and I was into a lot of thing in my college days. But I eventually got 7.5 or something of that, marks. So I personally think that, it doesn't need a lot of your attention. Whenever you are studying, make sure that you understand what you are studying. You are not mugging up things. So once you understand your subject properly, it becomes very easy for you to actually complete your syllabus and have a proper properly prepared for an exam. That is absolutely fine, and I always used to study like 1 month before the exam. Don't quote me on that, I'm a very bad student, and don't follow at least this part of what I'm saying. You should always study regularly, but I generally started like 1 month or maybe 15 days before the exam. That's why I got that marks. But the thing is, if you're a student, it's the right time to start your business. It's the right time to start your journey, because even if you failed, you have more time to you have time to come back. Like, just imagine, like, I failed when I was in college. If I had failed after I passed the college, then the option, because the time that I will be investing after my college, that means if I fail, then I will be having no time to get a job or something like that. It's a failure to failure, ekdam khatam. But that's like, something would have been a different story altogether. But if you start early, you might fail, then you can always have more time to start again. But once you do the complete the graduation, you have certain sets of responsibilities. Like, you need to get a job, maybe you need to support your family and whatsoever. But the thing is, when you're in college, you have less responsibility, you have less hassle, you have less things to take care, and you can concentrate on your business more freely, without thinking about, like, how will I support my family, how will I, what will the people say, and all those things. And people will actually not be much bothered when you're in college. They will just say, like, concentrate on your education, not on your business. But I would say, like, start early, because if you fail, you have more time to start again. But if you failed after you, like, completed your masters or something of that sort, then it will be a disaster, because by that time your family will pressurize you that start getting a job and get you married, and all those nonsense thing will start. So rather, I would say, start early. If you fail, it's fine, start again. And definitely by that time, when you graduate, or when you complete your postgraduate, definitely you will have a clear picture, like, whether you might be having a successful business, or you might be shifting for a better career opportunity. So starting early is always a better idea. How to polish our personality and how to improve our communication skill for business. Okay, so I don't know, like, how to polish your personality, what does that mean. But what I think is, um, you need to be having some kind of ideology, you need to have some kind of practice, like, maybe uh, have a habit of listening to people, have a good communication flow, be very welcoming, and try to like, if someone even says something, try to have an understanding, like, okay, this person is telling me this, and this might be the reason behind that. So be calm and composed and be honest. Like, what more should I say? Like, that's it. And improve communication skill for business. Okay, so communication, like, what you can do is, for communication skill, the most important thing is to practice. Like, when I joined the call center, that time, I was very bad in speaking English. So what I used to do is, I used to call those Vodafone customer service, and speak with them for hours in English. I would talk about random problems, that this is happening, that is happening, and I will keep on speaking with them for hours. I will call up the bank guys and keep on talking with them for hours. And when back in that time, there was a trick that, with Skype you can actually call international. If you do some tweaking, you can call international numbers free of cost. So I somehow got to know about the tweaks, and I started calling random customer services in US and started communicating with them. So that's how I started practicing. The best way to practice is uh, pick a topic and start talking on that. Just put a camera in front of you and start talking in front of it on that particular topic. Then hear the recording, and you will be able to find out which point you are missing or where you are making a mistake. Now, taking the consideration, like, good communication skill doesn't mean that you need to speak perfect English, or you need to speak 100% grammatically correct English. The thing is, you need to be good enough to express whatever you are willing to say. It should be something that the other person can understand. It should not be like, that I need to talk into this accent, I need to talk in this way. It doesn't work that way. Because at the end of the day, English is not our mother tongue, you know so it's probably the second or the third language that we are mastering. So don't be shy away. Like, if you see an American person or a UK people talking in fluent English, and you're thinking, oh my god, he's speaking or she's speaking so good English, and will they understand me or not? Don't have that insecurity within yourself, because for them it's the only language that they know, and for you, at least two other language, probably Hindi and Bengali, or probably at least Hindi. So Hindi and English, so it's at least two languages. Much better than them. So don't have that insecurity. Just start talking and keep on practicing, and that should be good enough for you to improve your communication skill. And for business communication, the one and only thing is to be is important is be precise, be to the point, and be concise. Like, it should not be like you're writing a whole story. It should be point wise, bullet point wise. Okay, these are the deliverables, or whatever it is. The communication needs to be very clear and to the point. How to select partners? My god, this is Prince. Okay, so how to select partner is probably the most complicated thing that you have in starting a business. So first and foremost, two things needs to be kept in mind. One, you might go wrong at any point of time. Like, it might happen that you choose a wrong person into the partnership. It can happen, it's quite normal. So don't worry much about it. Just make sure that you check, you have a checklist of things that matches. For example, if you like, the person whom you are planning to do partnership, or you want to have a collaborative situation, make sure that the ideology that you have and the other person, like your partner, have is on the same track. It should not be something different. And each one of you should complement each other. For example, if my partner is a good developer, then I technically I do not need to be a very good developer, because two developers cannot sell the service. They can develop things. So ideal situation would be something like this. There is a person who is good in development, and there might be another person who is good in making sales. So the salesperson will bring new project, and the development person will develop. So what is happening here? The skill sets of each partner is actually complementing each other. So partners should be complementing each other. So these are the two things that we need to keep in mind. One, they have the similar vision. Second, both of you should complement each other. I think these are the two things that needs to be check marked while choosing a person. And thirdly, you both needs to be very comfortable with each other. And the way I have partnership is I have partnership through my friends. Like, all the three companies. The first company, my partner is my mom, and for second company, it's one of my childhood friend, and the third company is one of my senior. Like, we now is a colleague. So technically, I have only did the partnership with people with whom, like, I have years of relationship, with whom I know how they work. I know what is their ideology, and all of them have a different and unique skill sets. So this needs to be kept in mind while choosing a partner. uh, we created our service business from 0 to 1, but now but now he is now diverted into his vision of tiffin service. Should I do now because I am unable to see the growth of my business? Okay, so like I was mentioning, the vision of the business, the partner should be aligned. So in the next question, what Shodav Bhatia actually shared that he had started a service business with one of his friend or partner, but right now the partner's vision is diverted toward and tiffin service or some other line of business. Now he don't see the growth. So the problem is the vision was not clear. The both the partners were not motivated into the same direction. That was the problem. So if it was done well at the very beginning, this situation would have never came altogether. But the best idea or the suggestion that I would give is, sort of, I think what you need to do is have a clear communication with your partner. Tell him that this is what I was I'm expecting from the business, and this is what is good for the business. So if you are interested and if you want to support, please devote a particular set of time and let's start working on together to grow the business. And if he agrees with that, it's better to proceed. If he's not agreeing with that, it's better that you leave that person and move on. Because if you don't do that, then you will be having a baggage that you have to carry all throughout your life. So it's better to clear that up. If he is interested, work with him. If he's not, clear the burden and proceed, because otherwise it will be a big mess in years to come. Digital marketing scam. All right. I'm actually not getting what do you mean, Veer? Digital marketing scam. See, personally, scam is there in everywhere. Like, there are scam companies in everywhere. But where else, now taking the situation right now and the years to come, there is no way out of digital marketing. You either way, you have to rely on that. And frankly speaking, digital marketing is something that is measurable. So if you are a person who want to grow your business, then you cannot get rid of digital marketing. Yes, but there are certain things to be very clear, that you should not be falling in trap of any scam companies. Because Delhi, Kolkata, and to some extent Bangalore is very famous for having this so-called scam companies, and it's very common. So it's up to you to judge, it's up to you to do the research before indulging with a company or a person, because you need to do your research work. Otherwise, if you fell in a trap of scam, you cannot actually blame the whole industry on that. What is a better way to convince any existing company to do company for doing partnership? Okay, Prince, can you please elaborate the question a bit more? Like, what is the better way to convince any existing company for partnership? Like, do you want to partner? Like, can you just elaborate on that? I would definitely be, coming on your question back. Talking about finance career. Uh, I wouldn't be the right person to talk about the finance career because I don't have expertise on that. But yes, I think if you are talking about chartered accountancy and other things like legal services, then probably this is a better time than what we had before. So if you are into that sort of business, I would say stick with that, because the chances of having a better growth is very high. We work with a lot of chartered accountancy firm, and the growth is like multiplying day by day. So that's it. Okay, so okay, fine. Okay. Mm, Sir, you said that starting early is beneficial, but mostly we are inexperienced. We're looking for some training program. So how to start in that? Priyanka, the thing is, see, everyone is inexperienced. Like, it's not like people comes with an experience. You start working on it. Like, once you start working on that time, you will get an experience. Like, whenever you join a company, you join as a fresher and you work there for 6 months, then you have a 6 month of experience. So the answer to your question is, you are inexperienced, that's fine, but you need to start working on it so that you gain that experience. Okay. And training, see, there are a lot of training programs, there are a lot of mentor programs, but at the end of the day, they would just show you the path. They would just give you the basic idea. But what I personally feel is that, you start working on it, and on the way you will find, a lot of people who are interested to help you out. I can personally tell you, if anyone of you needs any help regarding, like, whether the idea will work, or how to proceed with that, or how to market a product and all those things, you can get in touch with me. I'm happy to, help you, mentor you, guide you, and anytime you can reach out to me. That's absolutely fine. So again, Priyanka, I would just say, get started. We all started as inexperienced, and over the time we gain the experience. So don't worry about it. Just start the work. Okay, all right. Hitesh, uh, other source of income can be anything. You can do some kind of side hustles, and you can do freelancing. You can do, there are a lot of options actually, but not necessarily, you need to invest in stock market. Investing in stock market is a bit risky. I personally invest a very small amount, not much. But the thing is, you need to have a clear understanding on the stock market, how the trading works. You need to be very analytical of the companies where you are investing. So if you're good in that, you can invest, and if you are not, then it might be challenging. Frankly speaking, my stock market investment experience is neither bad nor very good, because I invested in a couple of companies, and I was always checking it up, and I had a, monitor dedicated to that, and seeing like when the pricing is going up and down. So it's like, you have an addiction to it. So, and I ended up, seeing that I'm investing way a lot more time. Like, from that, I think 8 or 9:15 when the stock market opens, and till 3:30 when it closed, I was completely hooked into that screen, and looking into like how the stock is going, and based on that I was doing. So the thing is, it is good if you can, do it wisely, but again, it have a very risky endeavor. So you need to be very careful. And if you want a risk free, business, or risk free side income, there are other options. You can explore those. All the three companies which you own are digital marketing shop. Okay, so my first company, Pure Growth Technologies, that is basically a digital marketing and service agency. The second company that I own is an e-commerce management company, where like we help customers to, market, and help customers to, sell their product. So it's basically a brand management organization. And the third company that I have is a, is into drone technology. So uh, it's a kind of confidential thing that we are working on, so I won't talk much about it. All I can say that we are working with a drone and AI technology, AI ML technology. Okay, how to attract niche customer? The best way to attract a niche customer is to be an expert into that particular niche. As simple as that. Like, if you are, for example, I'm a big fan of WordPress, and I work with WordPress. So I made WordPress a niche. Like, I don't like go outside WordPress, and I'm also known into the WordPress community because I dedicate time on that. Similarly, like, similar thing goes for the digital marketing. I do a lot of workshops, a lot of webinars on digital marketing. So the fact is, like, if you want to get a niche customer, you need to be an expert in that particular niche. Like, we have some of the, big like, we do digital marketing for some of the big WordPress companies that you have. Like, if you take top 10 the WordPress company, at least, a couple of the top 20 companies, couple of them would be my client, or some way or the other we are related. So like, again, the same thing I would say, like, you want a niche customer, you need to be a niche expert. Okay, Prince, let's say I have a software development company, and I want to partnership with a digital organization. It's a better way to convince for what? Okay, okay. So Prince, the idea is, partnership means mutual benefit. Say for example, I'm a development firm and you're a digital marketing agency. So what we both are lacking. So because, a digital marketing agency needs to have a good development team, whereas a development team needs to have a good digital marketing team. so that they can cross promote each other. So I think it's very simple. Like if you are a good business and if you have a fair amount of customers, then you can actually reach out to any digital marketing company and talk about them regarding a partnership. So it's like, if you can show the other company the benefits, then definitely, like, they would sign up. It's about mutual benefits, and to some extent the culture of the people, the culture of the company. If these both things aligned, then the partnership is very easy to happen. I would say just start talking with some companies, and I'm pretty sure you will have a good opportunity in partnership. I'm working as a field sales executive in PTM. Oh my god, who's that? Wait. Okay, and the only source of income my hand investing. I am unable to concentrate on studies, and I'm also pursuing degree. I had this job. I want to start up. Please suggest me anything. Okay. Saidip, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Brother, you're doing a great job, I would say. Like, you're supporting your family, you're doing a job, you're doing an, covering a course. Hats off to you. I have did the same thing in my graduation days. The thing is, only suggestion that I would give you, if you don't love the job, try to find a job which would be, as per your, preference, and then leave the job. you know there are certain things that we cannot do at our own, like, because when you have a financial liability, when you have to take care of your family, that time, even if you don't like certain things, you need to stick with that. So here in this case, I would suggest that, find another job. Once you find a job, then you leave this particular job which you don't like. Okay. And education, so boss, I know life is tough and I have been through your shoe. So my suggestion would be, find another job which you like, then leave this job. Just to, like, always make sure that you are never without a job. Just make sure that. So in that case, get a job, then leave this job and proceed. And make sure that you're choosing a field where you love to work. You do not only see the money part. Money might be less, but if you don't love your job, then you will never be able to put enough effort on it, or at the end of the day, there is no job satisfaction. You will not be happy. So it's better that find something which you love to work on. Find a niche or find a domain where you want to work, get a job in that place, and then leave the existing job. That would be my suggestion. Yes, Priyanka, you can always connect with me, no problem. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, that's fine. Please go to the feedback link. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Yes, Ayush have shared, all this information. Priyanka, thank you so much. Like, I love connecting with people, no problem. Can you please tell me about your biggest failure and how you faced it? Can you tell me about it? Oh, sure. Okay. Manisha, the biggest failure is like at the age of 20, you lose 20, 21 lakhs. What can be bigger than that? Then uh, another thing is, at the age of like, maybe I was 16 or something like that. Like, I failed in maths in class 12. So that is a big shame. I still remember, like, I see my class, like that time I joined the call center. So I was going out on work, and I have seen, like, people, like my classmate, they were crossing paths, and they would just give a look at me, and they will ignore me, and they won't speak with me. So there are a lot of my classmates who actually ignored me back in that time. Even when I approached, like, in Durga Puja is the biggest festival in West Bengal. So sometime when you face them, I always say, like, hi, how are you, and all those things. They would just say, oh, I think, like, they will just ignore me. They would pretend as if I don't exist. I'm no one. So that hardened me a lot. Then my relatives, like, call center, like, I used to work in US time zone. So my call centers, my neighbors, they used to say, like, okay, like, he is putting up oil in his body and going out for stealing things. Like, they even called me a lot of things. Like, someone called me, had a lot of things happened. Like, people called me a lot of names. And I was literally, like, back in that time, I was working to survive. Like, I was thinking that, okay, fine, whatever happened happened. Education is not my cup of tea, so let's forget about it. And from that place, right now I'm doing my masters. Like I'm doing the final year masters right now, so I'm technically a student as well. And so right now, like I can say, like I'm one of like I'm well to do compared to all my friends who said a lot of things, and compared to way a lot of my relatives. I'm happy where I am, and I'm expanding, I'm growing, I have blessing of my close friends, my family. So I don't mind, like, I'm happy that back in that time those people have insulted me, those people have underlined me, those people said a lot of things about me. I think I'm happy, because if that thing would have never happened, I would have never motivated myself to work harder. Because every time, like, I remember, like, I came home and I cried like baby, like I locked myself in the toilet and cried. Then why me, why it's happening like that, what is my fault? Like I was so broken. And then I promised myself immediately after I wiping my tears, I promised that, all right, so this is what I will be making. So my thing was very simple. Like if I'm I'm working in this level, so after a year I need to be in this level. So that thing I put a control on my mind, that this is my target that I need to achieve. So if you put something like that, then nobody is gonna able to beat you. So your self assessment and setting up a proper target is very important. And if people insult you, don't feel bad, just write it down and make sure that you work on it, so next time when they talk about you, they would think twice. And I'm very happy that I failed in my early days. I'm very happy that people insulted me, because wherever whatever I am, it's because of those people's hate and the failure that I had in class 12. So definitely, like, it's a big learning for me. uh, okay, can you please highlight top 5 industry which is will boom? And I think I am thinking to get into transportation, short haul and long haul business. Any suggestion? Okay, Kamal, 5 industries. I would say again, my understanding and line of business is digital, so I will be able to give you answer on that because I have data for that. Um, so I would say, like, in terms of topics, machine learning and artificial intelligence would be something very prominent. Then comes programming, like developers, they would always have a good demand. Then is marketeers, especially salespeople, because no matter what, how technology is moving, marketing and sales cannot be automated, or cannot be getting you cannot get rid of it. Like no matter what you sell, like whatever you use your product, you need to have a sales skill. So it's better that we focus on that. And in last couple of months, I have seen a good traction in e-commerce. Like there are a lot of boutique e-commerce that are coming up and they're making good amount of money. Then there are aggregator business is good now. Kamal, what you're saying is about the transportation business. You can go for an aggregation model, like the Ola and Uber is doing. So you can have similar thing for a transportation. Maybe if someone needs to transport a product, they can, maybe you can make a Ola or Uber for lorries and mini truck, something of that sort. Like I'm just giving you a random idea, but that is something you can always try. Like it's a very good business thing that is actually running in US for last couple of years. I think for last 7 or 10 years, there are a lot of companies who does the same thing. Like they are the Ola or Uber of you know and long haul transportation. So you can have a look on those fields as well. So yeah, I think if anyone have any more questions, please do let me know. I would be happy to answer and try my best to answer it. No. And if you want to get in touch with me, I think um, it's already shared. Ayush have already shared all the details, so you can get in touch with Ayush or you can get in touch with me. Like we are closely connected, so that is absolutely fine. Either way, yeah, you're welcome. So anyone have any questions? Please do let me know. And don't forget to fill up the feedback. I love taking validation, and please be honest. Okay, so we have, okay, okay, what would you recommend us about? Oh, okay, what would you recommend us to start in startup? See, startup is a concept. Like, what is startup? It's like a business that you're starting. Simple as that. It's nothing like uh, in last couple of years, startup term got glorified, but at the end of the day, it's just a business that you're doing. Okay, the recommendation would be pick a niche, like where you are solving a problem. That's one thing, and it should be something that you love to work on. It should be something that is well researched in the market. So these are the three things that you need to understand before coming up with a product or a service. Team management, make sure that your team is having a good culture, and they are like they are motivated, equally motivated the way you are. We are 100% remote company, so for us, like, we generally don't get to meet each other on a regular basis, but we have a very transparent policy, and we end up talking with each other. And all of my employees actually are a good friend now. They are a good friend of mine. So that friendship is important. It should not be something like, okay, I am the CEO, you are my junior, you are my employee. That differentiation should not be there. And personally, I don't see, like, we still do not have a manager or something in our organization. We are around 40 people working in my first company. So we still do not have a manager, and I think that is not required. If your teams are honest, if your teams are well motivated, you have to give them that liberty, and they would also be inclined towards you. If you just need to be friendly, inclined, supportive, and also need to choose the right people. And then other team management is nothing but just pure communication which needs to be done. How do you find the first client when you don't have industry experience? Okay, all right. Getting the first client is always a bit tricky. So it depends in which stream or which niche you are working on. For example, for website development, I got my first client is from a freelancing website. And personally, I do not recommend anyone to start working on the freelance website, because the competition is very bad. It's a bad competition, and these platforms are not truly loyal towards the like towards the freelancers. So don't work on that. So if you want to get your first client, what you can do is you can approach people who are near you. Like, it can be, you can ask your friends to help you out. You can ask your local business that are there, and that could be a good place to start with. And once you start building up that client, you will start getting it one by one. It happens automatically, to be very honest. Like, a friend of mine, a junior from my school, he started a digital marketing agency. So he asked me, and I gave the same thing, that start talking with the local people, and you will get clients from that. And now he is a very popular face or popular company in his locality, and he's getting like good amount of customers from there. And I think last time when we spoke before COVID, he was making around I think 2 lakhs 3 lakhs a month, like like he's drawing a salary of 2 to 3 lakhs. So definitely his company is doing great. He is having 7 8 people working under him. So definitely, like, you can start with your local and then start expanding. Make vision clear to all those who is, yes, you need to have a very clear vision, so as your team. And if you're not clear, then you cannot convey that clearness to your team. Sir, how do you find a problem worth solving if you want to start a business? Okay, this is very simple actually. Like, you look around, there are a lot of problems actually that are not addressed properly. Like, uh, what we have seen recently, I'm just giving you an example. That is, recently we started something called managed cloud hosting. So what is that? Like, the hosting is always there, like GoDaddy and a lot of big companies are there. So it is impossible to break into the market. So what should we do? So what we did is, like, people buy a lot of cloud hosting, like those servers from Amazon, those servers from Google and DigitalOcean and all, but they are not able to manage it. So what we did, we put the server and we put our resources, we put our service into it, make a package and start selling it. Because now, because we are into this digital marketing and website development business for last 6 7 years or 8 years. So I have seen that people are always struggling with hosting, mainly with cloud hosting. So I thought like, okay, fine, let me just solve this problem, and people are very happy to pay the service fees. So these are like something that you have to look around, like nearby you have a lot of actually uh, lot of problems. You just need to figure it out. Recently, like couple of weeks back, I actually there is a local guy who started selling South Indian food, mainly idli and dosa, on WhatsApp. Like he have his small website, and he does the marketing, and he takes order on WhatsApp and deliver it all by himself. He cook himself and he deliver himself. So what he does is like he did a small market research in our locality and found out that there is no ragi idli, and and uh, and he started with that product, raga idli or ragi idli, what do you call that? So that one, and non-veg dosa. Like you can have egg dosa, you can have chicken dosa, you can have mutton dosa. So these are the four items that he started with, and now I am one of his like permanent customer. I love his food. And like simple thing, like you can have, just look around. Like there was no that ragi dosa or raga idli or something that is not look like be found in, I think, in even in 50 kilometer radius in my area. So that is his unique selling point. And also non-veg, it dosa is not, I haven't seen anywhere in West Bengal non-veg dosa. So those things actually attracted me, and I started ordering them. And now I almost like every alternative day. My mom loves it, my sister loves it, and I love it. So we order it. So these are very simple things. Just look around. You will find a lot of problems. Try to find out a problem where you can work on and solve, and take that as your business model. Sometimes we have to do some multitasking. That time. um, कैसे रहना है. अच्छा, तो Manisha, the thing is, uh, you need to focus. Like even if you, it's a fixed thing. Otherwise, I would have shown you. Like I have two whiteboards just behind my screen. So there, like I write down each and every task, like for each of my company. And every time, like every day before I go to bed, I just write the task list for next day, and I get it done. So I have to manage like now almost three companies. So there I have these two boards where I write down about all the tasks. I get it complete, and I just once done, I just cross it up. And next, well, before going to bed, I again make a fresh list, and that's how I work. So the thing is, you need to be focused, and you need to do work that you love, like Bassett. And the thing is, multitasking, why it will make you excited, like why you will not be calm. Like excited is should not be the right word. Like why, like what will make you not calm? Like because it's your business, it's your job, it's your thing. So if you work harder, you will get better result. So that should be the motivational factor. And you should not think about all those things. All right, I have been working for 8 hours. Oh no, I need to take a break. I am doing this, I'm doing that. Don't think about it altogether. Like in my computer, like I have hidden that time part, where at the corner you see that time thing on Windows computer. I have hidden that thing, because every time I look at the time and I think, okay, so it's like 7 p.m. All right, so I will go to bed at 9, so 2 more hours to work. But if you get rid of that thing, then you don't need to worry. Like you complete your task, you go to bed, simple as that. And also try to have a calendar. Like I always have a calendar where I put down all the meetings and everything, so it keeps on giving me the notification and I don't miss out. And it actually syncs, so it becomes easier. The thing which I would suggest is have a proper time management and task management. Just get these two things in place. His job will be very easier and you will feel calm, relaxed. And I personally do meditation in the morning. You can have a try. You can try meditation. It works out. So that's it. You need to be very motivated. If you are motivated, nothing can actually, hold you back. Okay. What do you think about beta client at the work time? Okay. Beta client, I don't know, like, does that mean free of cost? Like you work for the client free of cost? If that is the answer, my answer is no. Never work for free. Never. Like, that's my personal suggestion. Even if you want to charge them a small amount, that is fine, but that should not be something, uh, very like in small amount or something. The thing is, you should get a proper value of your time. If you get it, you will feel motivated and you will start working in a better way. And if you don't get proper payment, if you're not getting the value of the time that you're spending, then at the end, like after a couple of months or year, you will feel demotivated and you end up not working on it properly. So that's a cheating that you are doing to yourself. Never do that. Like if you're good at something, always charge for it, and you have some clear thing in place. Like for example, for an NGO, if you work with an NGO, we do not charge a penny from them. It's 100% free for them. Then if a family or if someone from a defense background is looking for a service of ours, we give them flat 50% discount. So these are the places where we actually made up our mind. Okay, so NGO, it's free. Okay, so defense people, it's 50% discount. Like that, you have things in clear vision. But do not work for free. Yes, you're charging small amount to gain experience and to gain social proof. See, don't run after this, social proof and all those things. Get a testimonial, get a social proof. Don't run after that. It will come on a span of time. Don't worry about all those things. Just focus on two things: the customer you're serving. Make sure that they are happy with the service and they are getting a real benefit. Like if I'm building a website, I need to make sure that they are making money from that website. If I'm selling a digital marketing service, I need to make sure that they are making money out of it. Because if they are making money, they will be able to afford me. They will be able to give me the money. So the idea is help your client and they will return the help by paying you. Simple as that. It's charging small amount. See, charging small amount is like, yeah, that is fine, but don't make it into an habit or something like that. Maybe for first one to customer, you know, uh, like you can charge a very small amount and start with that, but don't make it a fixed thing. So when I was a freelancer and I used to do it in this way because I never had a mentor or never had someone who can guide me with the pricing and all those things. So what we did is, if I charge 5,000 to a customer, the next customer I will be getting should be 5,500. So like that way we incremented the price. So you can do the same thing. Like you can add up a small thing. So your last customer, so your next customer will always fetch you more profit. You can do it in that way. You're welcome, Shorab. Mm. So do we have any more questions?
Thank you, sir. It was really an awesome session, and you guys like rocked this session with a lot of question. And I think like mentor Rahul sir is also. I think he will be feeling a bit exhausted because we have taken around more 25 minutes of him. So, sir, if you want to continue, you can. I just like if you don't want, like if you want, you can leave because again, I'll wrapping up the session in 2 minutes. And guys, I've shared all the necessary link in the chat box. Just you can go through that. And sir, if you have any last time lines for the people, you can like before wrapping up the session. So
Yeah.
that's right.
First, thank you everyone for taking out time in this Sunday and joining us. And again, I would just request you, don't waste your time in college. Start doing something and let's help each other to grow. And if you need to, any help or if you need any suggestion or something, you can always reach me. I think you are all well connected with Ayush, so you can also reach Ayush, and Ayush can actually connect us. That could be a good thing. And I'm always available. So if you need any help, just let me know. Yeah, let's wrap up.
Thank you. So it was lovely. Thank you for the time which you gave to us. And guys, like Sir said, key start now, start simple because entrepreneurship is not about building ventures. It's all about building yourself, building you as a person because again, everything is defined with for and of people. So work accordingly and don't waste your time. So I'm wrapping this session in 2 minutes. If you guys have any question, like you can ask me or message me over LinkedIn. And all the if you will not be able to find the necessary link in the chat box, you can find there in the WhatsApp group as well. So yeah, guys, just always start now and start simple. Don't waste your time because nothing there is no word called such experience. Just you have to take the first step and automatically you will start gaining it. So don't wait for the time. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Goodbye. You guys have question regarding anything, so you can pin me because you still have 1 to 2 minutes more. And guys, if you like this session, you can also like share on the social media because we are on every platform. You can just type in MFL Eddy Club, you'll find there. You can tag us as well regarding the session detail, how you like the session with some proper description about it.